In the work the Transportation Division does, it's become apparent that the east-west divide is the single biggest transportation issue in Salt Lake City. So we're doing a 2-year study to work with the community that's directly affected by this divide, to understand how they experience the problem, what the problem means to them, and then to try and come up with community-led solutions to it.
Yeah, so it's nice to have these community events and, being able to have the taco truck and interactive things. We have our graphic recorder who's been able to kind of capture a little bit more of the emotions, and it's been really nice to have the community event because holding at the elementary school, we get a lot of those kids, and ultimately that's who this is going to be for, right? We want, if they want a soccer field or if they need access to those kind of amenities, it's how can we connect them to those things.
What we are doing today is we're getting some feedback on how people are traveling from east to west in Salt Lake City, and trying to understand what kinds of barriers they're running into, where they travel, what routes they actually use well and work well, and what routes are really they avoid at all costs. So in certain crossings that people are struggling with, I think a lot of comments about the railroad and alternative routes that people are having to take when a railroad car blocks the road. In general, I would say people have been super civil. They have concerns, but it's been pleasant to talk to people. So,
I think in general we find that when we can capture the imagination with people's words and a photo, it says way more than print. It really expresses who they are, and it actually brings content to life. So it's interesting, as soon as somebody would kind of discuss it, and then I had wonderful help. Nancy really kind of helped bottom line their comments. Then once it went up there, both she and I noticed that they just had a sense of pride or a sense of like, I've actually been heard. So I think that was the magic. I guess one of the things that maybe touched me the most was the fact that these people feel a lot of pride and they see the East Side getting on the Historical Society. That feels wrong. It's almost like they can deal with the traffic, they can deal with the resources, but when it's insulting, that's not okay. And I think that's really what I certainly heard and uncovered tonight.
At the station, we were just asking people, what amenities exist in their neighborhood, whether that's transportation infrastructure or something like a grocery store that they'd like to see. And so we're thinking about what things people would like to see more of, or maybe what is missing in their neighborhood. At this board right here, we're looking at education, work, community space, parks and open space, healthcare, grocery, restaurants, those categories. And then thinking about if you stay on the west side for those things, you would put a green dot. And then if you're leaving the west side, you're finding that those services aren't being fulfilled here, then you could put a red dot that you're leaving the west side for those items. I think my favorite thing was there was a group of kids that came in, and I do think it was maybe because they wanted tacos, but they told us that they wanted more soccer fields. I heard a trampoline park, so I thought that would be pretty cool. And one little girl came up to me and just told me she wanted magic. So I think more spirit like that. I would love a little bit of magic to get some solutions.
But it is more than just a transportation issue. It shapes how we invest in our communities and how communities see themselves.
One of the last stories was somebody that their date dropped them upon learning where he lived. So that was pretty sad. The flowers. Oh, I forgot. Actually, the flowers never got given because she said, no, thank you. You live on the west side. Oh.
A lot of the time in our work, we identify a specific problem and we come in with a specific treatment and apply it. We really want to step back from that and be told what the problem is that we should be solving. So that's what we're doing here.